Hi, my name is Cora. I don't know if I would call this a poem or not. This is just something that I kind of wrote. I woke up one morning. I was kind of in deep thought, and I was told if I think I can write it down or like jot it down. I was like, okay. I wrote a couple versions of this, and I finished this one like today. I was like, I want to perform today. Let's go do this. It's called Where Do We Go? Where do we go? Where do they go? Do you know? Because I see dead people, spirits. How can I? No idea. It was 2017. I have come home from school. I was 7 at the time, and I didn't really think or take into account that anything around me or anything around the world could happen. As a kid, I didn't have a phone yet either. And now a lot of people ask, who watches the news as a kid? I'm now 9 years old. I'm still in school, walking around with my quirky emoji backpack and my pink tutu. I got home and I watched the daily news. A 27-year-old boyfriend of Suzanne Williams, Daniel Anderson, murdered on 7th Street and Johnson Road. Can someone really just get killed like that? When did the world become so cruel? As I was little, I used to go to church. We'd pray and have our sessions, and afterwards we'd just chill and watch VeggieTales. W show back in the day. And then I thought, where did that man on the news go? Was he in the holy world with those beautiful creatures? Or down burning his head off by that boatman? I just miss the days of not caring about it at all. The birthdays, the hangouts, being outside, having candy, the summers of fooling around, the new age of newborn internet, doing whatever we wanted. Hey, this was a thing back in 2002, back in 2017, am I right? I didn't have to worry about having friends, being open and talking. I could even just walk out and be my perfect little self without being judged. I was the perfect little me, living in my small world. Not until recently though, counting down almost 4 years ago, August 29th, 2020, 12 p.m. My grandmother, my mother's mother, everyone's baker, our loved one, our savior, our wisdom giver. She was everything. Gone. I've never experienced this before. What is this? That's when it all went down. She died. What if my people who I thought would live forever without really thinking that us people could really die? I mean, hey, I knew we'd die, but I never really took into account as a child. It wasn't until a bit after this passing, I've grieved. I've grieved ever since then. I was a bit mature at the funeral. This twisted, curly, inky feeling in my mind and my stomach as I saw my own mother cry her heart out in such despair. It made me think as that pastor in that room spoke. It made me think as I saw that beautiful black woman in that white casket. Where did she go? How do we know if she was still with us? Again, I was a child. My mind barely processing as I cried. I cried until I blacked out. Mentally. My head banging with such migraine and headache. Later on that same year, my big daddy, that old, loving, loud, trouble hearing southern chicken feeding father figure from my own father. Gone. He died. He passed. He moved on? Where did he freaking go? I don't know. I'm just a kid. I don't need this much stress and depression. I don't need it. But I want it. I want to know that same pain that everyone else is feeling. Weird, I know. I'm grieving again at this other funeral fest, watching my own father bury his father. I guess that's how they do it in the South, huh? It's very different. I clutched onto my uncle's waist, crying in his musty dress shirt, filled with sweat and tears and dirt. 4 years later, I'm growing. I've matured since then. 3 passings, 3 funerals. I'm fine. I'm in my last year of middle school. I'm graduating in 5 months. Hey, I got stuff to do. Hair to finish, acting rehearsals to attend. It was a year or 2 after. It's about your thing, Mama Cora, they said. They called all of us out, all 4 of us. We're sitting down. Listen, we've got some news. my dad said, sniffling. I knew something was off. My dad doesn't just cry and sniffle like that. She passed yesterday morning. Those words, they stuck to me. Me and my brother broke down immediately, falling to the floor, clenching our couch cushions, clenching onto our own parents as they rushed over, and I screamed. I screamed aloud. Even the people outside of the window turned over. Is she okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm thinking, why did my life turn so quickly like this? How did, after 2017, did God's creation fall? My younger brother leaves with my parents. I'm stuck here another few days. They're back. I pack. We leave the state. We're driving down, stressing, sniffling, crying, sulking. It was like all three of the previous had their funerals that yesterday. Hey, we made it! Another 3 hours in that barren car. We made it to my cousin's that very morning. The big day, they said. The women loved red as much as I did. The girls in the family wore red. The boys in the family wore blue. My father's favorite color. I cried as soon as I saw that red-clothed, beautiful black woman in that pink-white casket, falling behind from the big, giant family up ahead. And as I look up at the slideshow. The slideshow that my uncle put up for me, for us, for everybody else to see. And as I look up, see none of my family there. Where's my dad? Where's my brother? Where am I at? I had pictures with her too. I look over at my uncle, the one who I cried on 4 years ago. He changed. Quickly, I've changed quicker. I've hated my uncle ever since that last visit. I hated his wife as well. That's not nice. But as I see my father bury his mother next to his father, I'm thinking, where did they go? How do we know that they're still with us? In our hearts, like they say, in our minds, or are they with those white, eight-eyed creatures with the God himself? Or are they down in the cooling underwear with that handsome devil? Are they in space? Are they in a void? Thinking more and more like this really changed my life. Now I live with such consciousness and caution. Just thinking, people die every day. Where do they go? Hey, wait a second, where would I go? Where would I go? Kids, even babies, they die too. I'm lucky enough to still be alive, and I'm thinking, where would I go if I died? What if my life just suddenly took me away? Where would I go? Thinking about it, it just shakes me. But haven't you always wondered? Have any of you always ever wondered? Where do we go after we die? Do you know where? Because I see dead people. More of them. Those souls, those spirits. Where do we go? Come on now, you've always wondered, haven't you? Where do we go?